There's this feeling in the air right now, a mix of fear, confusion, and just plain anxiety. It's especially true in West Asia, where it feels like the whole world is holding its breath. The United States and Iran are locked in this incredibly tense standoff, and the question on everyone's mind is, what on earth happens next? Let's break it all down.
So let's just cut to the chase. The big question, the one everyone is asking, is this: will the US actually attack Iran? You hear so many conflicting things, so many different statements, and there's just so much at stake. It's really hard to know what to believe. So in this explainer, we're going to try to cut through all that noise and give you the full picture.
So, how did we get here, to the edge of this powder keg? It all started with these massive protests that just erupted all across Iran. And as the government responded with a really deadly crackdown, the whole world was watching in horror. But one place in particular was paying very close attention, and that was the White House.
And that's when President Trump drew a very clear red line in the sand. The message to Tehran was simple, basically: stop the killing or else. And you know what? In a pretty surprising move, Iran actually blinked. They called off nearly 800 scheduled executions.
Okay, but here's the kicker. Even with Iran backing down a bit, the White House is making it crystal clear that all options are still on the table. A military strike? Yeah, that has not been ruled out. And that uncertainty is what has the entire region just completely on a knife's edge. So with all this tough talk about red lines and military options, you're probably wondering, okay, then why hasn't an attack happened already? Well, it turns out there were four really big reasons that were holding President Trump back. Let's get into them. All right, so first, there's Iran's concession. Halting those executions, that gave Trump a pretty clear win he could point to. Second, and this is a big one, the U.S. military just wasn't really in position for a major strike at that moment. On top of that, you had Trump's own advisors basically screaming, hey, this could start a massive regional war. And finally, even key allies like Israel and Saudi Arabia were telling him to pump the brakes. So while all this military chess was being played, the fight shifted to a totally different arena, the United Nations. All of a sudden, this wasn't about missiles and bombers. It was a full-on war of words at an emergency Security Council meeting. And let me tell you, the U.S. came out swinging. Their ambassador, Mike Weil, basically said, look, this isn't just Iran's internal business. This crackdown is a threat to global peace. He put everyone on notice that all options were on the table to stop what he called a slaughter. Well, Iran fired right back. Their ambassador didn't miss a beat. He accused the U.S. of spreading lies, of trying to cover up its own role in stirring up the protests. And then he laid it out, plain and simple. Iran doesn't want a war, but you better believe